Hi everyone, my name is Devashish Padi. I'm Tech Computer Science and Engineering. So this is the ongoing series of your software engineering. Today we will discuss different metrics for project size estimation. That means how we will calculate the size of a project. Okay, to see the project size is a measure of the problem complexity in terms of the effort and time required to develop the product. What is generally project size? Project size is nothing but first thing is the effort and second thing is the time. How much effort is given to complete the project? In how many times the project is completed? That two things must be important in case of measuring the size of a project. So project size means first thing is effort, second thing is time. And there are two techniques are used to calculate the size of a project. First is known as LOC, that is lines of code. Second is FP, function point. LOC and function point are generally used to calculate the size of a project. So first we will discuss about LOC. Next, what are different disadvantages of LOC? Next we will discuss what is function point. Next, how to calculate the function point. So today's topic will how to calculate the size of a project. Okay, next first we will discuss about LOC. The first thing is, what is LOC? What is the full form of LOC? LOC stands for lines of code. LOC stands for lines of code. Next and most important thing is how we can calculate the size of a project. Now in simpler term, in case of LOC, size can be calculated by calculating the number of lines in the project, number of source line in the program. Okay, see here it is written that measure LOC measure is nothing but counting number of lines in the source code instructions. How many lines are written in the project is nothing but my LOC. Let us consider in a project 1000 lines are there. So LOC is equal to 1000. Suppose in a program 20,000 lines are present. So LOC is equal to 20,000. Suppose in a program 50,000 lines are present. So LOC is equal to 50,000. Next and most important thing is, while counting the number of lines, two things must be ignored. First is comment lines and second thing is header lines. In case of LOC, comment lines and header lines are totally ignored. See, it is written here, comment lines and header lines are ignored. So basically all of you know that what is a comment line. Comment line is nothing but it is the description of the source code. Comment line is nothing but it is the description of the source code. All of you know that how to write the comment lines in a program. Comment lines can be written by double slash in C programming, or you can write by slash star and end with star slash. Whatever lines you are written between slash star and star slash are considered as comment lines. So these things are totally ignored while counting the LOC. Second thing is header lines are totally ignored. Header lines means what is the preprocessor directive you are included in the program. Let us consider in the C program there are different types of header lines are present. Has include, has define, has if, has and if. These lines are totally ignored while counting the LOC. Okay. Next most important thing is LOC can be easy at the end of the program. LOC count can be easy at the end of the program. Why? Because at the end of the program we are ever aware of number of lines. How many lines are present? We know at the end of the program, but it is very difficult at the beginning because we cannot predict the number of lines in the program. At the beginning of the program we cannot predict easily in how many lines, in what different lines, in how many ways you complete the program. So it is very difficult to count the LOC at the beginning. Okay, LOC is nothing but number of lines in the program. Next thing is what are the different disadvantages of your LOC. There are so many disadvantages are there. I am writing here only the important things. First disadvantage is different programmers may code in different way. What is the meaning of this line? The meaning of this line is one programmer might write several source instructions on a single line, whereas another might split a single instruction across several lines. What is the meaning of this? Now whenever I can write the source code, there are so many ways to write. First thing is, let us consider one simple example. I can write int a semicolon in a single line. On the next line I can write int b semicolon. In the next line I can write int c semicolon. On the next line I can write c is equal to a plus b. On the next line I can write printf percentility c. That means if I can calculate the LOC, LOC count is equal to 5 because there are 5 lines in the program. Same program can be written in another way. Int a comma b comma c semicolon, c is equal to a plus b semicolon, printf percentility c semicolon. What is the LOC count here? Now LOC count is equal to 3 because number of source code instruction is 3. Same program but LOC count is different. So this is a big problem while counting the LOC. We cannot correctly say that LOC count for the program is same for every programmer, because different programmer may write the same code in different way. Okay, this is the first disadvantage of your LOC. What is the second disadvantage? LOC only focuses on coding style and does not give any attention to design and test cases. From the beginning of the first slide, I am repeatedly telling you that LOC is nothing but number of source code instruction on the program. That means I can give importance to coding phase only, but a good problem size does not only give importance to coding only, it gives importance to design and test cases only. But LOC count only focuses on coding style only. It cannot give attention to these two factors, that is known as my design and test. Third thing is LOC measure the lexical complexity of the program. What do you mean by lexical complexity? Lexical complexity means that one programmer can give more effort to develop the same program other than the same program can be written and give small number of effort by another program. That means between two programs, with equal number of LOC, a program having complex logic would require more effort to develop than a program with small or very simple logic. Okay. Next, it is very difficult to accurately estimate LOC in the final product from the problem specification. Okay. LOC count can be very difficult from the problem specification. We cannot count LOC from the problem specification. So these are the different types of disadvantages of your LOC count. Next thing is FP. What is generally FP? FP stands for function point, and it was proposed by Alberts. Whatever disadvantages present in LOC can be removed somehow in the function point. So what is generally function point? Now it does not calculate the number of source code instruction in the program. Rather than it calculate number of function it supports. Again I am telling, LOC count give importance to number of source code in the program, but function point give importance to number of functions it support. Next thing is, it can easily estimate the size of a software product directly from the problem specification, but LOC count cannot estimate the size of a software product directly from the problem specification. Next thing is, size of a software product is directly depends on number of different functions it supports, what I have already told you. So what is the main difference between LOC, FP? LOC stands for lines of code, FP stands for function point. LOC cannot estimate the size of a software directly from the problem specification, but FP can easily estimate the size of a software product directly from the problem specification. Next thing is, size of a software product is number of source code in the project in case of LOC. Size of a software product is number of different functions in case of function point. This is the main difference between your LOC and function point. Next thing is how to calculate the FP, how to calculate function point. Now in the first step, compute the UFP. UFP means unadjusted function point. How to calculate the UFP we will discuss in the next slide. In the second step, UFP is refined to reflect the difference in the complexities of the different parameters of the expression for UFP computation. We will discuss this point. UFP is different from small, medium and large scale software. We will discuss in the next slide. And in the third and last step, FP is computed by further refining UFP. How FP is calculated we will discuss. So what is this 3-step will tell, we will discuss in the next slide. So in the next slide, we will first discuss how to compute the UFP. Okay, so see what is the formula for calculating the UFP. UFP unadjusted function point is equal to IP. IP means number of input lines. Number of input lines multiplied by 4 plus OP means number of output lines multiplied by 5 plus IQ number of inquiries into 4 plus number of files into 10 plus number of interfaces into 10. You must remember this formula. What is UFP? UFP is equal to number of inputs into 4 plus number of outputs into 5 plus number of inquiries into 4 plus number of files into 10 plus number of interfaces into 10. This is the first point about this, compute the UFP. Then what the second point will tell, UFP is refined to reflect the difference in the complexities of different parameters of the expression for UFP computation. What is the meaning of this? Now input, output, inquiry, files and interfaces. What is the value of input? What is the value of inquiry? What is the value of file? This will differ from project to project. For simple project, the values are different. From average, values are different. From complex, these values are different. Okay. See, for simple, number of input is 3, output is 4, inquiry is 3, files are 7, interfaces means 5. For average, number of input is 4, number of output is 5, number of enquiry is 4, number of files is 10, number of interfaces is 7. And for complex project, number of input is 6, number of output is 7, number of enquiry is 6, number of files is 15, number of interfaces is 10. Okay, these are the different values for input, output, enquiries, files and interfaces for simple, average and complex type project. This is the meaning of the second point. Then how FP is calculated? In the last step, function point is calculated. How this is calculated? Now FP can be calculated by calculating UFP, whatever UFP you have get from the previous step, into TCF. The main point is what is the value of TCF or what is TCF. TCF is nothing but technical complexity factor. And what is the value of TCF? Now TCF value is 0.65 plus 0.01 into DI. What is DI? DI is nothing but degree of influence and its value ranges from 0 to 84. Okay, so in this way you can calculate the function point for a software. So if in the exam it will ask for you that write different metrics for project size estimation, then you can write about LOC, different disadvantages of LOC, then you can write about function point matrix. Okay, if any problem arises, then please call me. Thank you.